Hello everyone. We are going to study objective type questions from subject introduction to auditing. So auditing, you everybody know that auditing means checking or vouching and verification of books of accounts and vouchers and documents, right? So today we study what exactly the objective type questions may be asked in the exams or in all competitive exams. So you can prepare well in order to get the exams cracked. So here we will deal with the first. We start with multiple choice questions. So in case of multiple choice questions, what is important here is uh, first we will think about what type of objective type questions may be there in the examination. So there may be the multiple choice question, that is MCQ. It may be the true or false question. So you have to state whether the statement is true or false. Okay. And third one is match the columns. In that, the two columns, A column should be matched with the column B. So appropriately, the column A and B should have some connection in order to match the columns. So this is another. And the fourth maybe is like a MCQ, but it is not MCQ, but it is a fill in the blanks. In that, uh, fill in the blanks means the statement with a blank, some answers they have given, and that you have to fill up those blanks and write that statement again in order to get that statement correct. So these are the four types of objective type questions that may be asked in your exam. So most preferably, the MCQ is the popular one. So in case of examination, like for university examination, you have to rewrite the sentence with the correct options. So just see the examples. First here you can see that joint first question is the joint audit implies dash. And here the four objectives A, B, C, D, these four objectives are given. So this when you writing in the answer sheet, you have to write that first the statement and that blank you have to fill with correct appropriate option. Okay, so most correct and appropriate option you have to choose as your answer. So just see, for example, joint audit implies dash. Okay, so we have four options. A, audit of two concerns together. Audit of B is the audit of joint stock companies. C option is the audit of joint stock, joint sector companies, and the D option is the audit by two firms of CA. So the right answer you have to choose from these four. So joint audit implies dash. So joint audit implies the audit by two firms of CA. So this is the right answer, and you have to write the full sentence in your answer sheet as the joint audit implies audit by two firms of CA, and you have to underline that audit by two firms of CA in your answer sheet. So this is the proper way to write the answers of multiple choice questions. So let's start with the next one. The internal check is carried on by dash. So there are four again options given. Staff specially appointed for the purpose, the internal auditor, the member of the staff among themselves, and the supervisor of the staff. So the most appropriate and correct answer you have to choose. So internal check is carried on by the member of the staff among themselves. So one staff member checks the work done by another. So themselves they check the work done by each other. So that is the internal check. So right answer is member of the staff among themselves. Third question, you can see window dressing implies dash. So the most appropriate answer from these four is overvaluation of. So window dressing implies overvaluation of assets. This is the correct answer that you have to choose in the options from the options. Fourth question is vouching implies dash. Vouching implies dash. Again, the four options are there: inspection of receipts, examination of vouchers to check the authenticity of the records, surprise checking accounting records, and examining the various assets. So here, the most appropriate vouching means it is mostly related with the income expenditures vouchers. So receipt payment vouchers. So that the examination of vouchers to check the authenticity of records. So this is the most appropriate and right answer. So that you have to write there. Okay. And the next is so like this way you have to choose most of the times all the answers in your answer sheet. Okay. So this is what the MCQ type questions you may ask in the examinations. Now let's check what about the match the columns. These are also some of the questions which you can choose from the which you can solve. Sorry. So you can see that the current file of the auditor as working paper generally should include copy of financial statement. This is the right answer. Working papers which auditor prepares for the audit of financial statements are dash owned by the auditor. Next, the audit program is prepared by dash. The right answer is audit program is prepared by the auditor. Another question is stock should be valued at dash. So stock should be valued at cost or market price, whichever is lower. So these are the simple basic concept related or the uh, answers which you can easily find out or recognize. Those are given for your examinations or for the MCQ type of questions. But most important is also you have to know how the remaining three options are wrong ones. So you can say that the left one or the fourth option is the correct one. So this is also one of the method which most of the students apply in the examinations in order to crack the MCQ type question, sorry, exams. Okay. So these are some of the MCQ type questions you can see. The verification refers to dash. The right answer is examining the physical existence and valuation of assets. So this is what the verification. So vouching is most of the times examination of receipts and payments vouchers, and the verification on the other hand is examining valuation or checking the physical existence of the assets, and also confirmation the value of liabilities. That is what the verification. Next question, you also see that dash is a systematic examination of the books and records of the business. So vouching is the right answer. Is the systematic valuation of books and records of the business. 11th number question is the audit program must be prepared dash. So it is before the commencement of an audit. This is the right answer. The audit must be before the commencement of audit. Next, the internal auditor's appointment is made by dash. So internal auditor's appointment is made by the management all the times. Okay. So these are the some of the MCQ type questions you can see. Next, the objective type questions includes match the columns. So here two columns are given, column 1A and column second is B. So you have to match the column A with the B. So first in this example, you can see the stocks. So from all these options, from a B column, the most correct one you have to choose, and that is the perfect match for this option. That is, the stock should be matched with the most correct option from this all options. This you can consider as a options. In MCQ, there are only four options, but in match the columns, there may be a many more. So that is how you solve most of the options or most of the column A. you will get a less options available, and it will become an easier one step by step. Or as soon as you solve the next one questions, find out the next one answers. The At the end, you will get it easy to choose the answers from the remaining few answers. So first, stocks, you have to match with these B column, this A column. So in stock is the first item from A column that we have to match with the B. And there are many more options that a type of error, method of example should be flexible, examination of documentary evidence, frauds, physical verification, window dressing, uses of financial information, prescribed qualification, no prescribed qualification. So all these are options, property of auditor, and in-depth audit of items in balance sheet. All these are options. So most appropriate answer is the physical verification for stock. So stock, the answer is physical verification. Second, we have a audit program that we have to match with the B. So audit program have a right option is should be flexible. Okay. Likewise, the vouching, in case of vouching, the most appropriate answer is examination of documentary evidence, right? Wrong casting by mistake, we have a type of error. This is the answer. Intentional mistakes, this is the only answer. Fraud is the answer. Internal auditor, it has a no prescribed qualification, right? Then the audit working paper is a property of auditor. This is the right answer. Then statutory auditor, prescribed qualification. This is the answer. Okay. Then the government agency. What about the government agency? Government agency has a answer in government agency. We have to, yeah, this is user of financial information. The government agency means user of financial information. This is the right one. Then the balance sheet audit. It is an in-depth audit of items in balance sheet. Answer. Fraud by management. This is the window dressing, right? So then the random selection. Random selection, it is a method of selecting samples. So this is what the answer method of selecting sample for random selection. So this way you have to match the column. But when you write the answers in your answer sheet, you have to write in a answer format. Okay, not this type of arrows you can draw, but you have to write properly in a answer format that you can see in the next slide. Okay. So this is what the answer for your last question of method. So this way you have to write in your answer sheet the answer. So column A, column B, that format remains same. But when you write the answers, you have to write the answer before. After this, stocks write in column A, and in front of the stock you have to write the answer as physical verification. This is the answer. This is the way to write the answer in answer sheet for micro columns. So this is what the second type of objective type of questions it may be asked in the examination. Third type of questions are true or false type of questions. So in case of this is for your practice, you can practice this. Okay, so get a screenshot of this and practice in your home. Next, we will see the true or false type of questions. So, in case of true or false, you have to write the statement and then write it's true, whether it is true or false. So this is the right way to write the answers for true or false. Okay. Some students may write only the question number and true or false, true or false, true or false. But the right way is to write the statement, full statement in your answer sheet, and then in front of that statement, you have to write the answer whether it is true or it is false. So this is the right way. So first question is statutory auditor is responsible for taking and complying the inventory. The statutory auditor is responsible for taking and complying the inventory. It is not so. So that the statement is false. Right. Second one is an auditor should act like a bloodhound, not a watchdog. So this is the false. So auditor should act like a watchdog, not a bloodhound. Okay. Next, an auditor cannot take the help of expert. It is a false statement because auditor can take the help of expert. Next, the routine checking is normally done by the senior audit staff. This is the false statement. The routine checking is normally done by the management or the senior staff, not the audit senior staff. Okay. Next, the audit technique of confirmation is formal inquiry only from insiders. This is a false statement because audit technique of confirmation is applied for both insider and outsiders inquiry. Next, internal control system is the responsibility of the management. No, it is the responsibility of, sorry, it is the responsibility of management, right? So it is a true sequence. Then the audit program will serve its purpose only if it is in writing. Yes, this is also a true statement because audit program is the program which the auditor and audit assistant have to follow in order to complete the audit in a effective and efficient way within a time limit. So that's why it should be in writing. So it is a true statement. Then audit sampling does not reduce the responsibility of auditor for his opinion. This is also a true statement because auditor has a responsibility though he go for 100% auditing or a user audit technique like sampling. So his responsibility is not going to reduce in any case. Next, the ninth true or false statement we have is an auditor has no right of lien on the books of accounts of the company. This is a true statement because company has a lien on its books of accounts, not the auditor. Then continuous audit is an audit conducted during the year with regular or irregular intervals. This is a true statement. Then next 11 number is sample size depends upon the auditor's assessment of degree of reliance to be placed on the internal control. Yes, this is a true statement because sample size is decided after evaluating the internal control of the organization. Right? Next, an auditor should also verify contingent liability. True, because contingent liability is also part of the balance sheet. So this is a true statement. Auditor have to verify the contingent liability. Next statement is audit technique of confirmation is a formal inquiry by auditor. Yes, it is the right or true statement. Next, the auditor should act like a watchdog, not a bloodhound. True one. 15 number, determining materiality requires professional judgment. This is also a true statement because prof- materiality, this concept most of the times comes with the experience and practice. So that's why the professional judgment is important or it is required in case of determining the materiality. So it is a true statement. Then the audit sampling does not reduce the responsibility of the auditor for his opinion. This is already we have seen. It is a true statement. Next, 17, an auditor can take the help of expert. Yes, the auditor can take the help of expert because auditor cannot be expert in each and every field. He cannot be the expert in engineering or in medical field. So that's why we have to take the expert's opinion in order to get the books of accounts audited. Then continuous audit is an audit conducted during the year with regular and irregular intervals. It is also repeated one, and the statement is true. The internal control system is the responsibility of auditor. False. The internal control system is the responsibility of management. 20 number. An internal check is carried out after the work is done. This is a false statement because internal check is done when the work is going on, right? Next, an audit program should not be in writing as it is confidential. This is a false statement. It is not a confidential one, but it is the audit program is the program which directs the auditor and the audit assistant in order to complete the audit in time and effective way. Next, an audit notebook is the property of the audit assistant and and need not be shown to the auditor. False. Because audit notebook it is a part of the audit working papers and audit working papers are the property of the auditor himself. So this is a false statement. Next, the internal auditor are appointed by statutory auditors. This is a false statement because internal auditors are appointed by management. Next, 24th number verification involves obtaining and examining evidence in respect of an items of revenue and or expenditure. Verification involves obtaining and examining evidence in respect of an items of revenue or expenditure. So this is what a false statement, right? So verification involves the obtaining and examining evidence in respect of assets and liabilities, not in case of revenue and expenditure. Next one, an error of principle will not affect the trial balance. This is a true statement because error of principle in which we already has a debit and credit, but we are applying it in a wrong way. That means, for example, we are considering revenue expenditure as a capital expenditure. So that time we are considering debit credit both sides, but we are putting it in a wrong accounts. So that's why the trial balance is tallied one, but it is the not a correct trial balance. Next, 26th is an auditor cannot take the help of expert. False. The allocation of amounts between the capital and revenue expenditure is compensating error. No, it is a error of principle, so it is false. The audited accounts are free from errors and frauds. It is false because though the auditor is expert and he is checking the books of accounts, but he is not able to check all 100% books of accounts. And though he checked the 100% books of accounts, but he cannot find each and every errors or frauds. So that's why this is a false statement. The audit plan should be primarily based on knowledge of client business. True one. Next, 30 number permanent audit file includes trust deed. Is a true one because permanent audit files includes the documents which are uh, there with the auditor from the time of his appointment itself. So basic documents like trust deed or memorandum of association, articles of association, or the organization charts, all these are the permanent nature or which the documents never change in the lifetime of the company. Those are included in permanent audit file. So this statement is true one. Next, 31 number is audit working papers constitute the link between the auditor's report and client's records. This is a true one. Then the verification protects against misuse of assets. This is also true one because in verification itself, we are physically verifying the assets. We are checking the physical existence of that assets, also the value of the assets. So this verification going to protect the misuse of assets of organization. So that's why this one is the true statement. Next statement, the mortgage means a charge on the immobile property to secure a debt. Yes, it is a true statement. 34th, a method of valuation of assets should not be consistent. False. Always the method of valuation of assets should be consistent as per the accounting standards and practices. 35th, an auditor has no right of lien on the books of accounts of the company. Yes, he has no lien. He has lien on his working paper. 36. Continuous audit is an audit conducted during the year with regular and irregular intervals. Yeah, it is a true statement. It is a repetition. So this is what the true or, true or false type of questions we have. So like this, the fill in the blanks may be asked in the examinations. So fill in the blanks is the only between the MCQ and fill in the blanks is in the MCQ there are options given. In case of fill in the blank questions, no options are given. Directly we have to write the answer. We have to fill those gaps of the questions. So that is what the this is what the type of objective questions are asked in your examinations. And nowadays, there are many competitive examinations which are only based on the objective type questions. So, all the best, and thank you for watching the video.